So as you might be aware, our TV's broke and I've been very unhappy. I've been going to bed early every night. I go to bed at 9 o'clock. I think it's like some kind of no TV depression that's crept over me.
We're now in the massive bay of La Marine in Martinique. Before we can start travelling north, we have several jobs to do. Our reason for coming to Martinique is to provision the boat and get gas sorted with a Titre test. After that horrendous sail coming up from Grenada, we also need to do several jobs inside the boat. Unfortunately, one of them being the freezer again. We go in search of a hire car so as Steve can buy his TV and fall very quickly back into the French way of life. Enjoy the video and don't forget to leave us a like and a comment. We really love hearing from you. We are Steve, Annette and Gus from the UK and we live on our Venus 46 Ketch. We left the UK in 2019, went to the Med and now we're in the Caribbean, having a whale of a time and we love sharing it with you. Last week saw us sailing up from Grenada to Martinique and it was an overnight passage too, where unfortunately we were hit with squall after squall after squall. Whilst the sailing was pretty good, the waves were huge. And unfortunately we got a ton of water inside the boat and quite a bit of damage. But luckily we were heading to Martinique where there are plenty of boat shops. Morning! Well, we both Steve went to bed mega early. It was about 8:30 when he went to bed last night. Might have even been a bit earlier than that. And then I had a problem with the freezer and I went and tried to ask him a question and his answer was, I'm too tired. It doesn't matter what the problem is, leave me alone. I can't deal with it now. That was his answer. So the freezer problem got left. All I did was stop the alarm. Anyway, it seems to be okay now. Steve's emptied it this morning. It was just getting very, very frosty. Very frosty. Kind of over freezing. He's made water this morning because we're going around to St Anne's and don't really want to make water around at La Marine. So he's made water and I've been working. We've tidied up the boat a bit. We've still got to rinse the cushion covers out, which I'll do when we get round to La Marine because I've got to hang them up and I don't want to hang them up outside because I don't want them to fade. Our brand new cushion covers got damaged. So, wow, got...
They didn't get damaged.
They've got salt water all over them and streaks of salt water. He says they're not damaged, but we'll see. Anyway, so I've got to rinse those and get those out. I'm a bit upset about that, but it was a pretty wild trip over. So we're just going to go round to La Marine now, near St Anne's, and check in. It feels a bit strange to be back in Martinique, but nice. It is a beautiful island. You can definitely see how much more affluent they are here than Grenada though. Just the houses alone. We've arrived in La Marine. I'm sorry about the hair. It's quite windy. And it's gone 4:30, so we can't go and check in. They close at 4 o'clock. There are a lot of boats here. We've done no filming for 5 days now. Why haven't we done any filming? We've just been a bit busy. We're in Martinique. We've unfortunately we've still got a problem with the freezer, and this has been hanging up in our saloon area for about 3 days now because it keeps getting really cold and then really hot, which does mean warm, which does mean that we've had to recook all the food. Luckily there wasn't a great deal in there, but nevertheless it's just a pain in the arse, and it means that the reason we've come to Martinique is to fill up the freezer. Well, we can't do that at the moment, so Steve's trying to sort that. We needed to get rid of a load of rubbish, which I know that sounds a bit, but it's quite a way to go and get rid of the rubbish. And we're just going to go and hire a car now. Yeah. Going to go and hire a car because we've got...
Because I've had enough.
Steve's had enough. He's so traumatised at the moment.
That's why I haven't done anything for 5 days, because I just have to sit in the corner in a darkened room. I've got no Coke. Everybody's telling me I can't have Coke. I can't have any ice cream because the freezer's not working.
Oh, well, yesterday, it's such a shame that we just didn't film it, but yeah, we had some ice cream, bought some ice cream, rum and raisin ice cream. Oh, we
Because
saw
the
that.
freezer was working.
Yeah, the freezer was working. It was on minus 15 when we left, so we thought, yes, it'd been on minus 15 all afternoon. We
All day.
We go and buy some, go and get some shopping. We get some rum and raisin ice cream and say, well, this is what we're going to have tonight because we love rum and raisin ice cream. And we had curry. I made a curry, so we had curry, and then about an hour after we'd had the curry, I said to Steve, do you want the rum and raisin ice cream now? Yeah. I went over to the freezer, and the freezer was on +1, so I opened up the rum and raisin ice cream, and yeah, I poured it into the plate.
Oh, it's like rum and raisin soup. A gazpacho rum and raisin cold soup.
And then on Tuesday, we've got the vets with Gus. He's going to go and have his Titre test done, because that will then help us to get, well, no, we need it to get into Antigua. So we're going to go and get that done, because that takes a month for the results to come through. We can't get into any of those countries until we've got the results. So I think Christmas is going to be in Guadeloupe or St. Martin. Might be St. Martin. Didn't realise how much further St. Martin is. Anyway, that's why we've been a bit quiet. That's why there's not a lot of footage before now, and why there seems to be a bit of a gap between when we arrived in Martinique and now. It's because it rained constantly for 2 days, another 2 days, and we had quite a bit to do. We had quite a bit of drying out to do, and we had quite a bit of work to do. Look, boat life. Not all that it's made up to be. Yeah, it is.
It is, don't tell him, otherwise everybody will be out here doing it.
I know. The anchorage will be full of people who think that it's brilliant boat life.
Got to try and remember.
Oh, the car. Just bought a nice French stick for lunch.
Because we're now in France. What's the road, babe?
Yep. €1.39, so about £1.20. So a bit more expensive than we would pay in the UK.
Yeah, but is it?
But is it? Steve's right, is it? We don't know. We have no idea how much you would pay for a French stick in the UK.
It might have been like cheaper in 1970 when we were last in the UK. Well, I wasn't. You've been back hundreds of times.
Are you bitter about that then?
What, you've been back and I haven't?
Yeah.
Do I sound bitter? I hope I don't sound bitter. But I'm only bitter because of things like Greg's and Sutill's Bakery in Fareham. Pasties. Belgian buns.
Well, I wanted a cake in the cake shop up there, and you didn't even want to go in.
Yeah, but they're not proper cakes. They're not, cakes have like...
They looked lovely cakes. They're the ones that Laura bought.
Did they have a Belgian bun? No. And so it's not a proper cake. It's got to have icing, it's got to have currants and raisins and goo.
Goo.
Preferably man-made goo. That sounds a bit wrong.
He's got a skinny little ass.
Yeah. Graceful. Completely graceful.
fairies didn't come in and clean up whilst I was out. It's hot though. It's very hot. Just got to undo all the windows, hatches.
Well, the renting a car was a complete, like, Europa car. Told us to come in on Saturday morning. We're going on Saturday morning to hire a car for Monday. Oh, I don't think there's one available. We could have booked it the other day. He told us to come in Saturday. Yeah. It's like, and the fridge, the freezer, has got cold again on its own. So at night it gets warm, during the day it freezes. So now we come back in, it's minus 14.7. Don't know whether that will flicker, but it's minus 14.7, which is great. So now I think it's an electrical thing. I'm gonna bypass the switch panel and put a wire directly from the compressor to the batteries in case the wire has gone resistant in some way. But I think it's more likely to be the switch panel, which is, I've had a couple of other ones which have played up. But I've also got to sort out the fact that the thermostat has got its own power supply, or that thermostat gauge has got its own power supply. So I don't know, I'm not very good with electrics. Or I don't understand it enough. It's a little bit kind of, I'm not Michael Cummins, who's an electrical genius. Love you, Mike. All we can do is try, or get Francois or Jean-Philippe, or whatever the man is called over at On the Dirt, to come over, and undoubtedly he will say 400 euros, 500 euros, 600 euros. Bend over.
That's enough.
So as you might be aware, our TV's broke and I've been very unhappy. I've been going to bed early every night. I go to bed at 9 o'clock. I think it's like some kind of no TV depression that's crept over me, because I do like my TV. I'm just about to disconnect it all and take it to the TV, send it to TV heaven. But I thought I'd just give it one last go just to see whether it might have miraculously healed itself. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Dead. It's just dead. So off to the shop. Get me another one.
We're off to the vets today to go and get this little one's Titre test done. Sit. Says we can get into Antigua. Look at this one ear. I know you, I know, stop it. So they take the bloods today and it'll be a month before we get the results, which I'm sure will be absolutely fine because he's had his rabies test, his rabies vax over a month ago. But he's not going to like it. He hates, absolutely hates vets. No reason.
Hello, just waiting to go into the veterinaries. Just going to see a veterinary.
We've been to this vet's before, 10 months ago. But they're really good, really, really helpful. And they were so quick when they answered my email as well, within like minutes. And me sending the email, I had a response. It's really good.
Bonjour.
Well, we've been to the vets, and if I could give Gus a million treats, then I would. He was absolutely brilliant.
So was the vet. Dr. Fanu.
She was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. She was so calming, which obviously helped with Gus. And she explained to us that we didn't need the Titre test because we've already got one, and it lasts 3 years as long as his rabies are up to date, which is excellent because that saved us 160 euros, and which, by the way, is 100 euros less than Gran Canaria and Europe. Very strange, but anyway, he's got a bit of an infection in his foot. Looks like he might have trod on some cacti or urchin or something without us realising. So we've got some spray for that. And as he loves having his teeth brushed, we've got some more toothpaste. But he was such a good boy. Just on our way back now, go and buy a French stick, some French bread, and a nice cup of coffee, I think.
Oui, oui.
Sorry?
Oui, oui. Oh look, somebody's kindly put a mattress out for us. That's for a traveller's rest.
2?
Yes,
One each.
Look at that one, hasn't even got any piss stains on it. That's a bargain.
Back on the boat, and we've given Gus several treats for being such a good boy. Weren't you, Gus? You our favourite boy, yeah? You were so good at the vet, so good.
Thank you.
Because he's got an infection in his foot as well, and that was bleeding, and she was like squeezing it like a spot, and it was oozing out all of this blood, not pus or anything, but this blood. And he didn't whimper, he didn't do anything, he just stood there frozen. Anyway, we're just going to have a cup of coffee now because we've been up really early. So we love Martinique, so we'll be here for another couple of weeks. We've got a few boat jobs before we go north. Having got so much water in the boat on our way down from Grenada, the priority is to find those leaks. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this week's video. We'd like to welcome Alan Betts, our latest patron. Welcome aboard, Alan, and thanks so much for your support. And a huge, massive thank you to all of our Patreon and Coffee supporters. If you've ever thought of becoming a patron, we would love to have you on board. The link to Patreon and Coffee is in the narrative below. Have a great week, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Ciao for now. Steve's been promising that we're going to take Gus for a walk this afternoon. So it's nearly 3:45 now, and at 4:20 I said to him, so why don't we, and he's just glaring at me like this.
I'm not, no, you such a liar.
No!
I'm glaring. Do you know what I'm glaring at? It's because you take no notice of the fact that I'm watching something on my phone and you just barge straight in and start a
you watch
conversation.
bloody TikTok all day, every day, you would.
Oh, I'm trying to learn how to work the fridge. I'm trying to learn how to work the dog. I'm trying to find a video on how to work you.
Right, show me, what are you watching on currently? Are you watching on, come on, show me, show everybody, show the world, what is it you're watching on? Don't change it.
I'm not. It's a documentary about the group The Jam.
What's that got to do with fridges, freezers, working anything, learning anything, apart from learning trivial?
I'm reliving my youth. That's what I'm doing. Okay, I'm trying to capture yesteryear, like we all are. Just a little bit of happiness. 2 minutes of happiness.
You can be a right burk sometimes, can't you?
Just a little slip. Innocent slip.
Yeah, I'll give you the slip. Well, I wish I had given you the slip.
Oh, that's what I said.
I didn't mean it like that. Steve's put up his replacement TV. Yeah, he's... What are these called? Zip line? Zip wire?
Cable ties.
Cable tie. He's cable tied his phone.
D'abord tu veux sortir, ensuite tu veux pas sortir, et tu peux pas.
He's so excited. Shut up! Hey, shush! We'll be able to watch Sailing Ragdoll now with this tonight. We'll be able to watch.
Because I have a cunning plan, you see.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to cast it to someone?
No.
What?
Perfect.
It's a bit like being at the theatre, isn't it? And having your own
No, what would be nice is if you held these for me so that I didn't actually have to hold them myself, because I'm sure my arms would...
Yeah, that ain't happening, Steve. It is not happening.